Hi everyone. Right, I've had a emotional roller coaster of a week, so I'll take you through. We'll start on a positive. So went to go and see Jerry and Sewell at the Theatre Royal on Thursday. Basically, there was this little play written at a place in the venue that originally it was written for was called Laurels. It's in Whitley Bay. It's a tiny little 50-60 seat capacity venue. They did this play, they put it on in there for a few nights, and it got picked up and it's ended up going to Theatre Royal in Newcastle, which, if you know, is there's no better theatre in the northeast, in my opinion. One of the lads I know is in it, so I was like, Thursday morning, I was like, there's a 2:00 matinee, I'm going to just grab a ticket, go up by myself, and I had a fucking great time. I didn't really know what to expect. I don't go to the theatre a lot. Been at that theatre a few times, but it's always been to see comedians, really. And I was absolutely blown away by it. It was absolutely mint. If you get the chance, go and see it. It's class. So that was Thursday. Then Friday, I went. Friday, I did my show 12:00, and then I went for some food, and then I came home. And my mate Ferraba, the rapper, came and recorded a song. He wasn't here half an hour. And when I was taking him down, when I was going to the front door to let him out, after I finished recording, I noticed Pryor was lying under there's like a clothes horse thing next to the radiator that I dry my clothes on, and he normally sleeps under there. And I noticed he was under there, and I give him a little nudge as if to stroke him a little bit, and he didn't move. And as soon as I touched his body, I knew something wasn't right, and he's dead. He passed away. I don't know what's happened. Completely out of the blue. Very healthy cat. He only turned a year old on the 28th of September. And I've only had him since the 28th of December. And that knocked me for six. I'm absolutely devastated. Absolutely devastated. From speaking to a vet that I know, it sounds like he's either had a heart attack or a stroke and just died. He was in a spot where he quite often sleeps because he likes to, when there's clothes on the thing, he likes to like cuddle himself into the clothes hanging off the bottom of the railing. There's a radiator there, so it's warm. So I didn't think anything of it when I seen him there, because I've like, whenever there's clothes on that clothes horse, he's normally under there having a little sleep. Just fucking absolutely devastated. Yeah, so that was horrible. It still is horrible. Keep on, like, the house is so quiet without him because he's always causing mayhem. He's still just a kitten. The house is just so quiet because he's normally knocking something over, or you can hear him just running around the house causing mayhem normally. And yeah, so Chrissy's away for the weekend. She's in Birmingham. So when she gets back tomorrow, we're gonna bury him in the garden on Sunday. I'm recording this late Saturday night. It's the biggest test of anything. It's the first time I've ever been through anything like this sober. And it's weird. It's just an empty feeling. It's not nice. So yeah, so I haven't really done much else. Today, Noxie and Clary came and took me for food. Last night, I just sat in the house and I spoke to friends on the phone. Just kept myself interacting with people, because at no point did I think, I should go and have a drink or I should pick up a drug or anything like that. But if that feeling changed, I can walk to a pub from here in about 7 minutes. So it was on my mind to not let me mood deteriorate to where I just hit the fucking button, because it wouldn't have ended well. But one of the things is that when I got that cat, when I got him, I'd been sober for 10 days when he arrived, and he's never ever seen me under the influence of drinking drugs. Which is probably the reason why I liked it so much. We're very close. I've never had a bond with an animal like that before in my life. Never had cats my whole life. He was so loving and so happy, and at least he had a nice, even if it was really short life here. Fucking devastating. Absolutely devastating. What do you want? Because you want something. What do you want? Prior. You want something. What do you want? To just wash your tail. What's happening? What's with the smouldering look? Ow. Moving on from that, something I want to talk about. I wasn't going to talk about this publicly because it involves friends and shouldn't really be on here, but Dimmy went on to Anne Dragoin's live last night, voiced his opinion about something. So I'm gonna have my say and just put out publicly what exactly is my stance on this.
So in response to all of that weekend, okay, like I was quiet, I was observing, like I felt like making a video, I didn't. But Amy did make her video of like a dancing along to this song, like that apparently was yeah, right, right.
I thought that was a good video.
So I've never ever spoke anything bad about Craig on YouTube. I've known him since before this YouTube scenario. I've known him as a personal person for a long time. But Craig trying to strike Amy's channel for using that, like for you, well, you couldn't strike it because your channel's not monetized. But wouldn't you turn around and say, "Fucking, you shouldn't be threatening my mate"? Right? Wouldn't you turn around and say you shouldn't be threatening me?
Dimitri, let people start talking because you're so about talking over it.
Are we talking about video, Craig?
Yes.
He struck Amy's channel.
Yes, for using his song in that video. Yes, he did. Because of his contract with Paddy, apparently anybody who used that song had to be struck.
He's scared.
But wouldn't you tell Paddy that those are my mates and you're threatening them? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you've got to be that way, Dimitri. Unfortunately, you've got to be able to do it.
He's scared. He's terrified of it.
I mean, I'm not asked to do it. Sorry, I'm not bothered who he is. I'll tell him straight. But
yeah, exactly.
But some people aren't like that, are they? So you can't judge. I mean, you can't force someone to be the way we are, if you like.
But do you know what? Yeah. Let's just ask something, Dimitri, right? Did he actually strike the channel, or did he give you the option, the 7-day option to take it down?
He messaged me the next morning and gave me the option to tell Amy to take the video down, which she wouldn't. So then he put through the strike, but because Amy's channel isn't monetized, so there's no copyright, the strike didn't go through. But the fact that he still attempted to do it, to get our content put down is Amy's content, you know.
Yeah, let me explain it to you.
It's annoying to me. I'm never going to fall out with Craig, like as a person, as my mate. I've known him for a long time, but that's upset me, what he's done there.
I don't blame you, but let's explain it to you. This is the way I say it. One, I'll explain because I know all about the strike. Because Thingo Bacher tried to get my channel taken down, didn't he? Unsuccessfully, but he tried to. But whether you monetize or not doesn't matter. If they can still strike your channel for copyright, no matter whether you're monetized or not. But what you can do, there's two ways you can do it. If you want to give someone leeway, you just turn around and say, you tick a box which says, give them 7 days to take it down themselves. And then you don't get a strike. Or you can say immediate strike. And then they get an immediate strike on the channel.
Yeah.
Which it looks like he's done. But you've got to understand, he's scared of He's scared of Paddy, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you now. If you're his friend, I wouldn't have put that up anyway, knowing what.
Well, I didn't put it up. I don't control what content Amy wants to put out and how she wants to react to people who have threatened her.
So, what was it, 6-7 months ago or so I went to Paddy's shed? Was it that long ago? I think it was a good 6 months ago. I went to Paddy's shed. Me and Paddy had an issue that, to be fair, I created myself, making videos about him. Started off as a bit of a daft laugh, got very serious. And then people's houses started getting smashed up and whatnot. And for what I thought was, I was signing up for a bit of daft carry on the internet, and I was like, whoa, hold on a second, I didn't sign up for this. Luckily, with a face-to-face encounter with some people I certainly don't want any trouble with, I was given the option to sort things out with Paddy amicably. I'm very grateful for that, which I did. I put an apology video out to him. I rang him up. I went to the shed, and 20,000 people saw that video before it got took down. Now, during the first conversation I had with Paddy on the phone, and the first thing he said is, anybody that uses that song that you made about him, because the song doesn't show him in a very good light, he said, I want you to strike whoever posts that song. Now, I said, no problem. Absolutely no problem at all. Right? No problem. During my time on the live at the shed, he did mention it twice. He mentioned it in the middle of us sit down talking. And when I stood up to leave, I said, I mean you, Kush, now. And I put my hand out and we shook hands. And as we're shaking hands, he said something along the lines of, yes, as long as you strike whoever puts that, if anybody uses that song.
Mean you, Kush, now then, Paddy?
Yeah, long as you copy strike anything that fucking does out with that music. And listen, if anything else pops up, if I need to fucking...
Now, since then, that song hasn't reappeared online, as far as I'm aware anyway. So, I get an email off Paddy about a week ago now, probably about a week ago, saying, Amy the Problem Child's used this song, and he sent us a link to it. And when I clicked on it, and it was on her channel, I was shocked, to tell you the truth, because I thought, if anybody's going to put that song up, it's not going to be somebody I class as a friend. Now, so Paddy's asked us to strike it. So I've sent Dimmy a message, and I've said, Amy's posted this song. It's part of the agreement, one of the main parts of the agreement that I made with Paddy for the truce or whatever you want to call it. That I strike whoever it is. I said, I'm going to have to strike it because Paddy wants to see proof that I put a strike through. So I'm going to have to strike it. But because they were my friends, I said, look, if she removes it though before the strike goes through, it won't affect our channel. Trying to be a pal. The response I was expecting from Dimmy was from him to go, oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that. No problem. I'll sort that out. What I got back wasn't anything remotely like that. It was along the lines of, like, I've done something wrong here by asking Amy to take it down or by keeping my agreement with Paddy to strike it. Now, realistically, right, I've got no choice in the matter here, and I didn't expect to be put in this position by somebody I would class as a friend. I really, 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 really didn't. So I've gone to Dimmy, it's okay, I'll message Amy. So I've messaged Amy and I've asked her very nicely. I've explained the whole situation to her, just in case you didn't know. So as a favour for me, can you please just remove the video? And I got 2 screenfuls of information of text back off Amy. Absolutely no empathy for my position whatsoever. And basically saying, you know, well, Paddy's been doxing us and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, right, okay. If Paddy's been doxing them, right, I don't agree with that. I don't think anybody should dox anybody on here. I really don't. But at the same time, what the fuck's that got to do with me or an agreement I made with Paddy about the song? So under no circumstances are they going to remove that. Now, because the channel that song initially went out on has been deleted now, I've had to go through a much longer process with YouTube to get this thing removed. My last response to them, I had to reply to them for the 3rd time yesterday, where I had to send them a photo of my passport and a photo of my driving license for them to at least verify who I'm talking about. And then once that's finished going through, they'll strike the channel and remove the video. Now, Amy and Dale seem to have it in their head that because her channel's not monetized, she can't get a strike. I don't know who the fuck's told them that, but it's fucking absolute cod shit, that. But I'm just, I'm not slagging anybody off, right? Because let me make something clear here, right? I fucking love Dimmy to bits. I absolutely love that fucking lad to bits. And I'm not falling out with anybody, and I'm not slagging anybody off or anything like that. All I'm doing by mentioning this on here is making it very public that any argument that they've got into, right, with anybody else on the internet is nothing to do with me. Absolutely fucking nothing to do with me. Now, that doesn't mean in me saying, will you take it down, and me putting the strike through, that doesn't mean that if Paddy's doxed them, that doesn't mean I agree with Paddy doxing them, but that's nothing to do with using a song that I created, that I shook somebody's hand and given me word that I would do this. You know what I mean? So that's where I stand on that anyway. I'm not falling out with anybody. I'm not slagging anybody off. It's caused a lot of headache for me now, because now I'm in almost daily contact with Paddy again over this song, and I want as little to do with that situation as humanly fucking possible. When I made that song, and I'm not making an excuse or blaming just drugs, but I was a very different person to the person that I'm slowly becoming now. I'm touching on 10 months sober. I've changed a lot of things in my life, a lot of things. And I can't let anybody, for my own sanity, in my own happiness, in my own well-being, in my own mental health, let anybody drag me in to drug-fueled fucking craziness. I just can't. Well, it's not I can't. I won't. I won't be dragged back into that life. I will not. Right? If any, and this goes to anybody, of any of my friends, if you want to argue with gangsters on the internet, knock yourselves out. All I'm asking is don't involve me. It's nothing to do with me. So, that being said, yeah, so I'm still going back and forth with YouTube about that, which isn't ideal. To say something positive about what Dale said about what Dimmy, I keep calling him Dale because that's his name, but about Dimmy on that live is, he did say on Anne's live that he was gonna get back to making his channel about just the funny kind of stuff that he wants to do, and that's music to my ears, because being in my personal opinion, him being involved in arguments on the dark corner doesn't suit him. It's not a good representation of his personality to me, and he's a very, very, very funny guy, and he's not using that as he should be. And I heard him say that he's going to get back into stand-up comedy. That's music to my ears as well. That's mint. That's what I want from him. I want him to do something like that he's more than capable of doing. I've seen Dale fucking crush on stage in comedy clubs before. Crush. And he's not had that many gigs. He's just naturally got it, in my opinion. And I hope to God, if he's watching this, that he gets back into doing that. Right, next thing I want to talk about, Ian Stungun Paddey. There's a channel on here called Ian Stungun Paddey. He does stuff about recovery. He's a recovering addict, recovering alcoholic, I think, as well. He's been to jail a lot. And he does these videos. Now, I've had quite a weird experience with this, and I think I should talk about it, right? So, on YouTube, when you get to a certain level, like I have, and I'm not saying I'm KSI or anything because I'm a fucking million miles from it, but when you get to a certain level and you get a certain amount of views and you have eyes on what you're doing on YouTube, something's happened to me here that was very, very, very weird experience, right? And how I want to talk about it. So I watched this guy for months and months and months. Every video he put out, I would sit and watch it. I thought he was mint. Now, I've still had no communication with him to this day at all. I've had no communication with the bloke whatsoever. But he seems sound. He's got great stories, and he can articulate them. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing having a good story. It's a totally you need also the skill set to be able to deliver that story in order to make captivating content, and that's what I believe he is. I think he's really good. Now, I've been watching him, like I say, for months at this point. This is going back months now. And then one day I clicked on a video. My name was in the title and I thought, oh no. And he was sitting slagging me off. Now, it's weird, right? It's weird with it, and it's only YouTube really that this can happen on, because you wouldn't be watching I wouldn't be watching an episode of EastEnders, right? And halfway through one of the episodes, Phil Mitchell just would look at the camera and go, oh, by the way, I think Video Craig's a knobhead, right? Do you know what I mean? It's like, and it's weird because I've got this almost relationship with this guy. Well, not with the guy, but with his content. And then it's weird, you know, I just presume that, or I would like to think that the content creators that I watch, that I like, would also like me. And honestly, right, it ruined me day. It ruined me fucking day. And I typed up this massive fucking response, and I ended up deleting it and not putting it in. Then I just didn't watch his videos for months. And then the other day, he's came up because I'd even unsubscribed and everything. I was in a right little huff, right? And it's an emotion, like I say, it's a fucking weird emotion that, you know, to have somebody that you enjoy watching their content just suddenly, and I was like, fucking hell, it's teeth. Like, it's weird. If it had been like 99.9% of the creators in this dark side, and I'm not even really sure if I would class him as part of the dark side. He does talk about the dark side from time to time, but that's not why, and that's not what I enjoy and what I get from his videos. I like his recovery stuff. Some of his jail stories are pretty entertaining as well. So the other day anyway, I sat down and I've got a recovery channel. And on the recovery, it's the Giving It Away podcast. There's a new episode out every Sunday at 9 o'clock. They're starting again from tonight, so go and check that out. So because I'm not unsubscribed on this channel, it's came up on the feed of that channel, and I've thought, go on, I'll watch one of these videos. Now, the one I clicked on, he actually said that when I was doing the Decker Daily, I'd spoke about him, and I had mentioned that, like, I'd said I used to watch him all the time because of his recovery stuff, and then one day I put him on, and he was calling us a fat cunt and that, and I never watched him again. He said, you know what? He said, I feel like a bit of a cunt for that. And I thought, oh, fucking fair play. And then he explained his reasons for slagging us off. And it didn't sound like particularly that he dislikes me. It was just more a case of the in thing at the time to do with the JDP and Share, Smoking Sheriff, and everybody was making videos slagging me off at that point. So he just thought he'd do one. So I thought, oh, fair enough. And then I sat and caught up on his content. I've watched all those other videos along the way. And he mentioned us again, actually, at one point. He said, all I do is that he used to watch me, and that all I do is sit and talk about Decker now. So if you're watching this, Ian, Stungun Paddey, I do this vlog channel, which is serious stuff. And I've got a channel called the Giving It Away, the Recovery Podcast, where I'm trying to do some recovery stuff myself, which is really works is like I do try and record one a week, and it's like almost like I get to go to another meeting a week because I have a one-on-one encounter where I listen to another addict share, and it's very therapeutic and it's very rewarding. And that channel does the worst views wise, but it's the one I enjoy doing the most. In actual fact, this is the channel I enjoy doing secondly, and then the one that gets most of the views is the Hedgehog Man Live channel. I would really, really, really like to do a podcast with Ian Stungun Paddey. I don't know how to get in touch with him. Now, there's one of three things I suppose can happen here. He can go, fuck off, I'm not doing that, which is fine if he doesn't want to. Or we can record one over StreamYard. Or if he'd be up for it, I would quite happily travel to him with all my equipment and film one with him, or I quite happily pay his travel to come up here. I think listening to his full story would be fucking great content, and I think a lot of addicts would get stuff out of that. So let me know, please, Ian Stungun Paddey. And like I say, I won't take any offence if you don't want to do it, or for whatever reason. But that's me vlog for today. Like I say, it's been an emotional roller coaster. It's about 4 o'clock on the early hours of Sunday morning now, and I'm going to turn this off, edit it, upload it, and then go to bed and just be grateful to get my head on the pillow again at night sober. And I'm proud of myself for not picking up yesterday, because I was in bits. I'm still not right now, as you can probably tell. R.I.P. Pryor. Good night, mate.